I speak in support of New York's Medical Aid in Dying Act. In 2006, my husband of 26 years, Steve Gilbert, passed away at the age of 62 after being diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. The story of my husband begins like Myra's, but the ending could not have been more different. And the only reason is because I live in New York State. Over the course of the 4 years before Steve's death, and as he underwent the rigors of radiation, chemotherapy, and multiple surgeries, our marriage grew ever stronger and we became even more in love. Facing something like this either brings people closer together or drives them apart. In our case, we could not have been closer or more in love. Those 4 years meant everything. Then it was discovered that the cancer had spread to his liver and other major organs. About 6 months before he died, he entered hospice. He made it perfectly clear to me, his son, friends, family, doctors, and hospice that he wanted to have control over his own end. He was very smart and analytical, and he said he saw the handwriting on the wall. He wanted very much to maintain what dignity he had left. Steve had a wonderful sense of self-esteem. He was pragmatic, talented, and loved by so many, as evidenced by the overflowing chapel during his memorial service. He was also grounded in his convictions. He did not want to wither away to nothing on a bed while his loved ones stood by watching. What he wanted was to leave what he called this beautiful world on his own terms. He wanted to be able to say goodbye and die a peaceful death. In December of 2005, his condition began to deteriorate dramatically. As the disease progressed, he became emaciated, got weaker and weaker, turned a shade of orange that has no place in nature, and slept endlessly. Then one night, when I came home from work, in the dark, right after the holidays, I saw there were no lights on in the house, and my worst fears were realized. He had attempted to take control and end his life. He left me a tender note and instructed me to, under no circumstances, save him. But his attempt failed, and he was in a coma for 6 days before he passed. Those 6 days were horrific for me and our family. Hospice nurses were in daily as we administered to his physical needs. He laid on a gurney in his beloved sunroom. We were unable to know if he was in pain or not, as he was, for the most part, unresponsive. I honored his request not to save him, but this is not the way he wanted to die. Subsequently, I vowed to fight for aid in dying. I believe with all my heart that no one should have to go through what he went through. Thank you for listening, and I hope I can count on you to vote yes for this bill.
Thank you very much. Ms. Truman, I assume your husband, you were residents in New York?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ithaca.